Hello everybody, it's vanburman here. Welcome to my video today. Now I had a comment from one of my videos yesterday from Matt Nowak. Probably pronounced it really badly there, so I apologise for that. Basically he's saying, how would I go about effectively starting a YouTube channel? He's got no experience. So if you want to do, this is going to be primarily for gaming channels, but a lot of it will apply. So the first thing you got to do is make sure that you have a suitable computer. That's me whacking inside the case for whatever it is you want to be recording. So if you're doing stuff, like out and about or whatever, then your computer only really needs to be powerful enough to, do the rendering and be able to do your video editing on. But in terms of for games and stuff, you need to make sure that it is of sufficient power for the, I don't know, how demanding your title is. So for example, Football Manager, not very demanding title, anything will play Football Manager pretty much. So, you could probably even, I would thought it'd be more than possible to record Football Manager or even on a laptop. But coming on to that, we'll go through the different aspects of that. So the first thing I want to talk about is equipment. I've already mentioned the PC. Here, I have a microphone, which is probably gonna make a lot of noise. So I've got it on an arm as well, so that I can move it around, and basically I can just tuck it away when I'm not using it. I've also got a pop filter on there as well, so that helps keep the down, so it's not, you don't get the distortion in the recording. And then, although I should say I don't have like a shock mount or anything, so for example, when I lifted it up then and moved it around, you could hear the impact on the arm, and also if I whack the desk as well, you'd be able to hear that as well through the microphone. So that's something to think about. I mean, a decent microphone is quite important, one that is going to be able to pick it up correctly, and also other things to do with levels as well are quite up there. I mean, I've got here a Blue Yeti Black Edition, I think, or something. I don't know, whatever. But I do also have a little sort of clip-on microphone. I think it's a Booyah or something like that, that I bought for my GoPro, but I have actually recorded some videos with that, and that's quite good, and you can pick that up for under £15 as well, so that's a fairly cheap option. Back in when I first started, I used Turtle Beaches and used the little microphone that comes off them. It was okay, it didn't sound anywhere near as good as this does, or even the one I've got for the GoPro. So something to think about there. Obviously, if you're just starting off and you want to test it out, using an existing headset that you've already got, should be, fine enough, I think, personally. 2 monitors is always helpful. I've got 2 monitors here. So one where you can view what you're recording and make changes if you need to. The one where you're looking at the game that you're playing as well. Fairly bog standard stuff, but, just things to think about. Potentially. I've even gone as far as to, because obviously I use my webcam somewhat, I've installed, I don't know if they're called like natural light bulbs, so you don't get that yellow tinge, like pure white, I think they're called actually. So you don't get like a yellow tinge from the background or anything. As you'll notice, my background is completely gone, because I'm going to be moving out in little under a month. So everything's been taken apart. The room's pretty bare, to be fair, other than the stuff I use on a daily basis, pretty much. Equipment, anything else I can think of? A good pair of headphones is always useful, but once again, not necessarily important. Like at the minute, I've got probably can see, my headphones plugged into the microphone so that I can hear how the audio is sounding as it's going out live. So I think that's all for equipment. Yeah, I'm going to say here it is. I might miss something out. If I have, I apologise. So next thing we're going to go through is just a rundown of a few of the programs. But before that, I'm just going to show you this is on my about page for YouTube. So these are the specs I've got on my computer, just in case you wanted to know, because some people ask about that. I've even put a thing about here about software, which probably needs a little bit of updating, but that's what we're going to go through in just a minute. So the first thing the thing I've been mainly focusing on is audio and how the audio is sounding and everything. So I'm recording this at the minute through XSplit. I do use XSplit quite a bit, and I also use OBS as well, but we'll go through each of them. So I can't show you XSplit at the minute because I'm on it, I don't think, or can I? Inception. Yes, so this is XSplit, and it shows you, how you can do lots of different things. with it. But you have to pay for XSplit every month. So I think it works out at $15 a month if you want the full version. But if you download just a normal version off the website, you can do 720p, 30 FPS without any restrictions at all. So that's quite nice. You can also use OBS, which I'll load up, which will probably come on the other side of the screen, I should have thought. Oh, it's a new version of OBS. Probably should download that then. But it works very much in the same way that XSplit does. It gives you there's a bit more sort of visual feedback to what's going on in this as well that I quite like. And you can, because it's open source, there's obviously lots of stuff that people have created, which, you know, helps out quite a lot, like being able to display what song you're playing down on the bottom for live streams and that sort of stuff, which is, you know, quite nice. Got different scenes as well, which are pretty cool that I've made. I meant to be videos in the back. I think I might have deleted the videos that I used for it, but anyway, you get what I mean. So that's they're both quite nice to use in terms of getting the video saved. You can also use Shadow Play as well. Not had an issue with that. That's perfectly fine as well. And also for, you know, making retrospective videos as well. With that, you can record the last 3-5 minutes. So if you're just playing through and you think, oh, I might want to, you know, save a clip when I've done something pretty cool, like playing Battlefield, and you just had a 5 kill streak or whatever they call it nowadays. I always feel really old when I talk about shooters. And then obviously you can save that little section there if you want to put that in a video. So what else are we going to go through? Probably one of the best programs I've used is Audacity, and that allows you to record your microphone, obviously, and then you can make changes to it, effects and things like noise reduction. So if you've not got a particularly great room with a lot of echoing, or you got family in the house, or whatever, for the bits in between where you're talking, where there's like a bit of background noise, you can eliminate some of that through Audacity. So that's quite useful to use. You can pick that up for free as well off their website. What else have we got? Audacity. That's probably the only thing I use for audio, because it's free and there's no real need to have an alternative. We've got paint.net as well. Obviously, if you've got Photoshop, even better, but anyone that knows how to use Photoshop will be more than capable of using paint.net. You can get that as well for free. I think you have to type in get paint.net into Google to get it up, because there's actually a website called paint.net, which is not this particular program. So a bit confusing, but yeah. And this one's free as well. Obviously, Photoshop is a paid for application, so if you don't want to spend any money, you just want to try it out, obviously this is the sort of thing for creating thumbnails and all that sort of jazz that you might do. And now, back in the early days, I used to use Windows Movie Maker quite a lot. And for very simple editing and all that sort of jazz, it works quite well. But it does have a lot of limitations that you do notice when you start using something like, for example, this, which is Sony Vegas Pro 13. I believe they've got a new one now. I think 14's out. I think it showed up on the Steam page. But yeah, so it might look a little bit more complicated as opposed to Windows Movie Maker, but once you've learnt to use something like this, you can definitely tell the difference. I mean, just in terms of I can't do a render as because I haven't got anything on there. But yeah, the amount of options that you get in terms of to render and the effects you can add to it, you know, vastly outweigh Movie Maker. But you know, for free, Windows Movie Maker is usable more than enough. Actually, I don't have it installed because I've restarted my system since then. I think that is about. I think I've covered pretty much every avenue. So let's go back here. My eye's watering, by the way, because I don't know, something wrong with it. I think I got something stuck in it earlier, and it's yeah, not great, this one. Anyway, so there is the video in a nutshell. Hope that helped, Matt. Sorry about this ending. I should have really I did it in one take rather than you know, editing it all together, which I probably should have done. And just remember that, you know, when you're starting out, I set myself a goal to get 1,000 subscribers, and we're now to 1,900, just over 1,900. So I think that's an amazing success personally for myself. And just remember that, you know, if to do really well, I think in this sort of thing and in life, in like, say, if you want to do sales or anything like that. You know, charisma and everything is a real big winner, and the way you talk to people and the way people understand you and are able to relate with you is something that is highly useful, and it's something that I don't think I personally have that much. So for me to do as well as I have done, even though it's a relatively minor success, I'm quite proud of it, and I'm quite happy with what I've achieved. And I shouldn't have made this video while I'm on my eyes like this, but anyway. So there you go, I've spoken for far too long. I hope this video helped, and anyone else that... I'm going to have to click off my face, aren't I? And anyone else this has helped as well. If you do have any questions about anything, let me know, and I'll try my best to help you out with it. If you want any tips or pointers, you know, specific questions, I can give you impart some of my knowledge. But other than that, good luck with your channel. Let me know when you put some videos up, and I will have a watch. Thanks for watching, guys. Goodbye.